Hello, everyone. My name is Stella Veit, and I'll be talking about institutional research offices. Every institution has their own institutional research office, but it might be by a different name. At Sam Houston, it's actually called the Institutional Effectiveness. At University of North Texas, it's the Data Assessment and Institutional Research Office. So again, it goes by many different names depending on the institution. And so first I'm going to go over some background information, and then we'll get into some of the research that's currently being produced for institutional research. So the main role of the Institutional Research Office is to assist the institution of higher education in conducting effective, efficient, and meaningful research for institutional planning, policy formation, and decision making. That can be through evaluations, strategic planning, budget analysis, enrollment management, and or research studies. Some of the data that you can find from this office are cross-sectional, which is like a short time span, or longitudinal, which is over a longer period of time, as well as administrative, meaning, student contact information or data collected that's not regularly reported, such as a parent's highest education, as well as school data from where a student previously went. They also produce quantitative and qualitative data, which they usually get from surveys, focus groups, interviews, questionnaires, and things like that. Some of the services for each office will depend on the institution, but it mostly consists of conducting research, whether that's assisting the client with formulating research questions, developing tools to collect the data, actually collecting the data, analyzing and organizing said data, interpreting and analyzing the findings, and then finally presenting the findings. They also provide training um, when it comes to institutional research, as well as helping to facilitate discussion of data. And then they also produce various data reports with what's requested from them. Another thing they do is they do a lot of data dumping, which is really just them collecting data from the institution for the institution. There is research that suggests that there needs to be collaboration across the institution with the institutional research office. This can happen by building productive relationships. If I were a program coordinator and I needed to do an assessment from the institutional research office or with the institutional research office, I would also want to make sure that I'm identifying the issues that I want to be studied, as well as the stakeholders, as well as who else can help me. If I'm, running a financial report, while I can get the data from the institutional research office, I can also go to another office that can help me figure out that financial report. Um, the office also needs to be aware, as well as those who are wanting to collaborate with the office, is what kind of data is available to us. What does the institutional research office have, and what do I have, and what can we combine to get more data or to be able to assess it better, as well as understanding the knowledge of the data. While the institutional research office has data, that doesn't mean that they understand the meaning of the data, and that's where your office and staff can come in and help analyze the set of data that's been collected either by you or by the office itself. And then how are we accessing this data? Is it relevant to the research at hand or to the assessment? Is it being accessed via the surveys that we've produced or that the institutional research office has produced? And by collaborating across the institution, whether that's just with the institutional research office or with various offices to create a report, you're gonna be able to produce some more impactful, richer, and useful studies and analyses that can eventually be used later on. There is also research that promotes transparency within higher education, specifically the Institution or Research Office. Um, Transparency has been a big topic in higher education, especially with uh, all the politics that go into it. But there has been positives with transparency for the institution or research office, such as creating accountability and then helping to promote a response to the changing societal expectations for higher education. It always changes from year to year, from semester to semester, and so by being transparent, we're able to adapt better. And so there should be transparency between the office, the institutional research office, and the external governing board. So, like the board of trustees, who, kind of decide a lot of factors, making sure that that data between the institutional research office and the board um, is open between the two parties, as well as sometimes the data should be open to anybody accessing the institution's website, as well as internal stakeholders. With transparency, that means that there's an increase of data requests for the office, which is always good, as well as there needs to be more staff training and professional development for the institutional research office. And then the institutional research office can also help establish programs, um, and this can be done by getting analyses such as on demographic data for student and faculty, getting having the office produce projection models so you can see the success of your program or class in the future, or having the office get the results of student surveys and focus groups to help establish a great program or an event. One school in Florida actually used their institutional research office to revamp or actually restart their engineering department. It had been a couple of years and they wanted to reboot it, and it was through these types of analyses that they were able to revive their engineering program. So here are some references that I used um, for this presentation. If I would definitely utilize the institutional research office at your institution. I've added Sam Houston's institutional effectiveness website. It does go into details about what types of services they offer at Sam Houston. Again, like I said at the beginning, it does differ from institution to institution with what kind of services they offer. I would also utilize the New Directions for Institutional Research. It's a great journal that offers some great information and new research for institutional research. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. And again, thank you.